What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are back to talk about the Knowhere team and duarktikhq. So duarktikhq seems like he has a problem with the Knowhere team, that the Knowhere team is not as good as he himself advertised, and we're gonna take a look at his video and we're gonna see the mistakes he did and why I'm not having those mistakes. duarktikhq talks about teams like the Underworld team being able to punch up 700, 800k versus Darkhold, which they were supposed to hard counter. And he says that he's not able to do that with the Knowhere team. He's gonna show some footage from the test server that he himself recorded. We're gonna take a look at all of that, and then I'm gonna show you live gameplay of this. Also footage from testing this team, and see that we don't have any problem with this. If you have the right if you have the right position, you can actually win all the time. But most important, and this is what sometimes happens with players and even with envoys, people with the access to the test server, people just don't understand the match. People don't understand the consequences of their decisions, and this is why duarktikhq is failing and is not succeeding, because if you are aware of the options that you have to make throughout the fight, then it's no longer going to be a problem. So we're going to talk about how to beat Gamma all the time with the Knowhere team. I have done 900k punch-ups with this, but I'm going to show you now, because my team is bigger, I'm going to show you 800 or 700k punch-ups. And you're going to see that it's pretty much flawless if you understand how the match works. And then we're also going to take a look at the footage of duarktikhq and talk about the mistakes he was making. And we're going to talk on how you should not make those mistakes and how you can change about that. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, let's get started. We're going to take a look at what duarktikhq has to say, and we are going to respond accordingly. And then we're also going to have footage of my own gameplay and see exactly how it works. Okay, so let's listen to him. Let's see what he has to say. I'm going to play this on 175 because otherwise it just takes too long and nobody has time for that. Okay, so here we go.
What's up, everybody? Today's video is going to be somewhat salty, somewhat optimistic, because I do think there's some changes that we can make for this issue that would make this issue just straight up go away. And we were talking about the Knowhere team and how they're just simply not performing the way that was advertised by me, right? Like when I played on the playtest, we showed a very small team taking a very big team effortlessly, and it works 10 out of 10 times. That does not seem to have translated to the live server. There's a lot going on that I think is the culprit. We're going to talk about all that, and we're going to talk about some suggestions to fix the issue, because I do think this issue needs to be fixed for the integrity of not just the Envoy program, but of the players' faith that they're actually going to be making and selling the proper solutions to the problems that they make. I know we joke at them, but it's what they do, it's what the game is, so at least do it right?
Okay, so first off, we have to say something about this. The footage that he showed before of the Knowhere team versus Gamma, it was on the test server. And we know from the test server that many of the features they have are or turned on or turned off. For example, I think that on the test server, the duarktikhq is not working properly, or you don't have maximum duarktikhq, or you don't have some kind of other effects that people are not aware of. And that's why there is always a discrepancy in power and discrepancy of behavior of the characters on the test server. So keep this in mind, because this is normal. This is absolutely normal. And with this difference in stats, or just from the duarktikhq alone, you might find Gamma a lot easier to beat or a lot harder, because that's going to be around 25% extra stats that the enemies have. And because they have passive multipliers that give 250% resistance, that 25% is definitely going to take into effect when you are considering the whole stats of the characters. Okay, let's move on, let's continue.
All right, so here we are, and this was from a live war that happened just yesterday. This is my Knowhere team against a Gamma team. This is in live war, the buffs are active, giant punch-up, look, 800k punch-up. Here's the problem. Everyone's Knowhere team is going to be smaller. Everyone's Gamma team is going to be giant. Why is everyone's Gamma team going to be giant? Well, because you made Gamma needed for Apocalypse. Everyone is going to have a Gear Tier 17 Gamma team with ISO 5 on it. So they're all going to be around 2 million. That means they're baseline level 90. Of course, you're going to put the T4s on them. You might as well bring them to 95 at that point, because they're great in Crucible. You're going to use Red Hulk in Arena, at least for now. And obviously they're great in War, as we're about to find out. So they're
Okay, so here we have already one problem, and we already have some misinformation from duarktikhq. He's saying that your Knowhere team is going to be smaller than your Gamma, which is true. It's definitely true. Gamma, yes, indeed, it is required for Apocalypse, and then everyone gear them up for Apocalypse. But we have to remember that Knowhere is also required for the next legendary character. So maybe you don't have your Knowhere as big as everyone else's Gamma, but at some point in time, yes, you should have your Knowhere as big as you can in order to participate on these new trials for the next legendary. And I think it's a little bit mischieving from duarktikhq to say this, because he already knew that the Knowhere team was required for a legendary character. So we have this post at 3 weeks ago, and then we have this post after 2 weeks ago. So he already knew that Knowhere was going to be required for a legendary character. So I'm not exactly sure why he's making this comparison, because within the next 2 months or so, everyone's Knowhere will be very close to everyone else's Gamma. It just depends on how much yellow stars and red stars you have. So now we are taking a look at a massive punch up. We have here 800k punch up. This is thanks to the war buffs, because there is a limit to which this team can go. But we have to take a look at the ISO weight and the position of this character. So we have Star-Lord, Annihilation in the middle. That alone is already one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. If you put Star-Lord in the middle, you are exposing him more, you are increasing the probability of Red Hulk turn-rewinding your Star-Lord, which is something that you should avoid as much as possible. Then we have the absolute trash of ISO weight recommendations. Raider on Thor. Why? Raider on Thor? Thor applies negative effects, Thor applies ability block, so or you have him as a striker or as a skirmisher. There is literally no reason for you to use Thor as a Raider. Does he gain buffs on crits? No. Does he give more consistent damage with the Raider ISO weight? No, especially because he does piercing damage. Then we have Star-Lord. Star-Lord applies negative effects, he has a lot of focus. Is it enough to face massive gammas like you are saying? No, it's still not enough, and because you have him at low yellow stars and low red stars, for sure you need the skirmisher as a weight on Star-Lord to apply the blinds and to apply the trauma to the enemies. So right away we have 3 big mistakes with the duarktikhq's team. Terrible position, terrible ISO weight on Thor, terrible ISO weight on Star-Lord that are greatly going to compromise his team. We are going to take a look at his own gameplay and we're going to see which mistakes he made. We can also talk about Korg ISO weight being a skirmisher, okay, I guess. I wouldn't use it, but sure, why not? I prefer Striker because with a Striker you do turn rewind, and on top of that you're also applying slow. But that's something we're going to talk about in a second. So let's take a look at the gameplay and see what he's going to be able to do.
They're like all going to be 2 million because of the new war rooms, the new war teams, which we'll talk about, but I want to focus on Gamma for now. So with everyone having a giant Gamma, you can expect to be doing punch ups. This isn't always an impossibility, because if you think about the Underworld precedent, okay? When Underworld came in, there was so much that...
Okay, so you can see right away that 3 of the most important characters that he has got turn rewinded. Thor, Cosmo and Star-Lord, both of them at the same time. Then you can see other problem as well is that the Gamma, none of them have offense down. This is because Star-Lord doesn't have enough focus to apply the offense down to the enemies. On spawn, Star-Lord applies offense down to the entire Gamma, but because duarktikhq decided to put Raider ISO weight on his characters, he's not able to apply offense down to the enemies except Hulk, which is surprising because he has even more focus. So, lack of offense down. Having your position, the team of your position, in a way where Red Hulk can turn rewind all your good characters at the same time, or the characters that matter at the same time, it's definitely going to compromise how you play this match. It's terrible. So right away, you crippled yourself in multiple ways. You literally crippled yourself in multiple ways. Extra damage, extra turn rewind on the wrong characters, and that overall compromises your entire position. Let's see if he's going to do any other mistakes beyond that. So Red Hulk he already attacked everyone. This is a big problem. I don't know if people are aware of this, but you can reduce the amount of charges that you apply to Red Hulk. If you change which attack you are using, you can actually reduce the amount of charges Red Hulk gets. And this would allow duarktikhq to ability block him or to blind him. But yeah, unfortunately, he didn't play the best way, and therefore Red Hulk already did his ultimate way too early. So misplay, wrong position, wrong as weight, all of these factors, of course, are going to compromise the ability of your team to perform in Alliance Wars.
Case may be, and they just didn't do the second iteration, which had the leaderboard on it. So they all have like a 4.
Okay, so I need someone to explain to me in the chat. I need someone to explain to me in the chat why duarktikhq just used a Thor to apply ability block to OG Hulk. Is this normal? The guy has stun for 2 turns. He has trauma. Why did he use the ability block on OG Hulk if he has stun with trauma? Absolutely doesn't make any sense. We have other characters here like Brawn or Abomination that you could apply ability block to them, or even Red Hulk, because Red Hulk already had 2 turns, so he's about to do his special again, and instead you apply ability block to the character that is stunned. It's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable that you are using this to express your rage against the developers because they lied to you, and on the test server is one thing and on the live server is a different thing, but here you are using the wrong position, wrong ISO weight, and applying ability block to characters that have stun for 2 turns. It's quite remarkable. Let's continue the match, let's see what else happens.
Or Yellow Star Nova, whatever that was that you got from the first release, which is a huge issue, all right? So we have to restart on a full 5-man team.
Okay, so you can see that once again, duarktikhq attacks the Red Hulk is trying to apply in the blind, which was fine here, but look at that. Star-Lord, on top of having offense down and on top of having the Raider ISO weight, he has to attack a character with block. So the more block the enemies have, the less chance you have of applying the negative effects, unless you have a lot of focus, right? If you have a lot of focus, this is not going to be a problem, because the higher percentage of focus will bypass the block chance. But in this case, plus offense down, of course, he was not able to do that. Maybe you should change your ISO weight a little bit. But let's continue the match, let's see what other mistakes he does. This is the 5th mistake already. Okay, let's continue.
And it's not working on nearly the same kind of punch-ups that Underworld did against Darkhold. And obviously they're being skimpy on the Knowhere shards because that's needed for the next legendary, so it kind of is a compounding issue. Then there's the war changes. So the war changes heavily favor defense. The reason they're doing this, I can almost bet my...
Okay, so now we have Red Hulk got deleted, and if he would focus on the OG Hulk, he would probably be able to win this match. Now we have the barrier, now we have Korg reviving over and over again. I have been able to do 4 versus 2 easily, so I don't know exactly what happened, we'll see, but it's possible to recover
they want you to get more losses on
He applies the trauma. He applies the trauma to one single OG Hulk. You should not attack OG Hulk, you should attack your She-Hulk. The priority targets on this match are She-Hulk, most important target, She-Hulk, Red Hulk, and then Brawn, Abomination, and OG Hulk. You leave it for last. Like, the targets that you're attacking, this is another mistake that you are doing. You're attacking the wrong targets. This is huge problem. You don't want to do this.
On the B tier teams, because they want you to still have to buy those war refreshes from the Blitz store, and they still want you to have to refresh.
Here he is with the conspiracy theories about, oh, the developers just want you to make more money, and this is why on the test server it worked very well, and on the live server it doesn't work. No, bro, the situation is that you are making multiple mistakes that chain react you into this situation where you are not able to win. Once again, prioritizing OG Hulk over She-Hulk, and the fact that you only apply trauma to one of the characters when you could apply to 3 characters on the other side, you are compromising yourself, you are shooting yourself in the foot, and this is why you are not able to win, because you are playing this match completely wrong.
Refresh that store with your cores, because that is a way to drain cores or make money, because even though we get the 10 attacks right away, we should be able to clear the helicarrier right away. They almost don't want that, right? They want you to have to use your cores to get those extra attacks in. Having defense just be more prominent than offense is a way to do that, and I think that the Knowhere team was designed with the old rules in mind. I really do. That extra 10% primary stats that just Knowhere gets on offense for being war ready, it's not enough to overdo the changes that happen to favor defense. Now, we've been kind of watching this fight happen, and a couple of RNG moments I do want to isolate, so let's rewind a little bit, that I think we just didn't see it on the playtest, or they did happen on the playtest, but things were just wonky with the way that Red Hulk charges work.
Okay, so now he's making excuses for whatever happened wrong. Okay, so we saw multiple times the mistakes that he was making. Then he goes throughout the video saying that, oh yeah, they should give on spawn town to Korg, they should do all these things. And then then he plays another match that he makes similar mistakes and so on. So we're gonna skip all of these and we're gonna jump into the gameplay and try to understand the Knowhere match versus Gamma and see exactly what we have to do in order to always win. Okay, so here we are on my alliance. We're gonna test out my Knowhere team versus the enemy Knowhere team. We are gonna face Sentinel Gamma team, which is almost 2 million with buffs in Alliance Wars, and my Knowhere team is at 850,000. After this, at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you a 900k punch up when my Knowhere team was a lot smaller. So you're gonna take a look at that. In terms of position, in terms of ISO weight, in my opinion, this is the ISO weight and the position that you should have in case you want to have the highest chance of winning the match. So you want to make sure that your Cosmo and your Star-Lord are in the corners so they don't get any attention from the enemies. You also want to have Nova somewhere next to Korg, and you also want to have Cosmo somewhere next to Korg, so whenever the enemies attack, you are applying negative effects to them like offense down and bleeds from Cosmo, and with Nova it's just decent if you can get his ultimate to happen on the second turn, even that is not like a major thing. So we're gonna do the first match and then we're gonna do a secondary match back to back just to see exactly how this team works and how you can beat them every single time. As long as you understand how the team works, then it's gonna be easy mode for you to do it. We are going to take a look also at the different RNG situations that duarktikhq complained about and see what we can do in order to improve those as well. Okay, let's get started. Once again, best position and best ISO weight in case you want to be successful. I'm going to show you the size of my team so you can see that Star-Lord is 5 yellow, 5 red. Blitz a lot to get here. It was possible to get Star-Lord 5 yellow free to play. Thor is at 4-4. Then Korg, I just got him now, yesterday, from the event shards. I just got him to 5 yellow, 5 red. And Cosmo is also 4 yellow, 4 red. And Nova, my Nova should be at the same size of duarktikhq's Nova. We both got 7 yellow stars Nova with 5 red stars. So that's pretty much it. I think, or I expect, my Nova to be the same size as his. And in terms of the team of Sentinel, they're all level 95, and I think they're all 6 red stars, because Sentinel is not like massive whale or anything like that. But still 95, Gear T 17, and ISO 8 Blue level 5. So let's take a look at this match. Let's see exactly how you have to play this match in order to be successful. Now, the position of the Gamma team is not super important, because what you have to take into consideration is it's not going to matter. Okay, so here we got Cosmo turning winded. That could be a little bit of a problem, but it's not a big deal. So every time you attack, you give 1 more charge to Red Hulk. But if you do damage to Red Hulk as well, you're going to give him 2 charges. So you want, as often as possible, to do single target damage, unless you are trying to force trigger the ultimate of Red Hulk. You can see that my enemies, they have offense down. I didn't notice if Red Hulk had offense down or not, but that's why you need Star-Lord as a skirmisher, to make sure that you always apply offense down to your enemies. I didn't mention, but in terms of levels of my characters, they are level 80, 85, 86, 80. So my Star-Lord, he should be level 85, but 80 is gonna be good enough for that. Okay, so we're gonna stun that OG Hulk because he's on the way. That's it. The Abomination is gonna try to stun. He's not gonna be able to stun. Thor is always trying to remove some charges from She-Hulk. 50% chance of that happening. That can change a little bit how you play this match. Now, we have this special with Thor. The attack is unavoidable, and if the character has immunity, you're going to be able to clear positive effects from the primary target. So that means we can ability block Red Hulk and stop him from doing his ultimate. Now, this is going to imply that you have Skirmisher, ISO 8 or Striker. I don't like to do this because it relies on luck. So what I can do is focus on Brawn instead. So we're going to ability block Brawn. And there is another situation. If Brawn is very close to Red Hulk, what you want to do is the basic. You just do the basic, to guarantee that Red Hulk does not get more charges. So let's do that. If you are unlucky, the Red Hulk is going to attack, but hopefully not. Okay, so it's rebound chain. He still attacked the fucking Red Hulk, man. So unlucky. Okay, so if you want to avoid that, you just have to do the basics. So not a big deal. Either way, we are still going to be able to win because we are going to clear that gamma radiation. And we are going to clear all those negative effects away. So we have to beat She-Hulk and we have to beat Red Hulk. I'm going to apply blind to Red Hulk because I don't want him to turn rewind me again. She-Hulk now has 2 vulnerabilities. We are going to turn rewind that abomination there. Thor removed the charges from She-Hulk, which is great. Red Hulk is failing his attack because we applied blind to him. And now we are going to rush for She-Hulk. Now you want to rush for She-Hulk. Make sure you finish her off. Apply defense down to her, and as soon as She-Hulk is gone, you pretty much win the match. So double tap with Nova is one of our strikers. Korg now returns to life. Abomination now with a clap to apply those negative effects. And now with Star-Lord, we are going to apply trauma to multiple targets. It's not just to one target, we are going to apply to multiple targets. And if you can kill She-Hulk at the same time, that's great. That's exactly what we are going to do. Okay, so She-Hulk is gone. Hulk is going to try to taunt, no problem, we don't care about that. Let's clear those negative effects away. Let's clear those positive effects away as well. Red Hulk is still blinded. Let's apply defense down to him +2 because of the ISO 8 attack. Core comes back. Red Hulk is gone, bro. Red Hulk is gone easily. Now we are going to turn rewind that Brawn to make sure that he doesn't apply buffs to the enemy team. And then we are going to shred the rest of the team. We are going to ignore that OG Hulk, like I mentioned. Yes, he's getting turn meter, but it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Okay, now we can stop him. Since we have the opportunity, we are going to ability block him, finish him off. This is something that you can change depending on which situation you are in. And that's it. So 700, 800k punch up, easy mode. Like, if you understand exactly what you are doing, you will have no problem beating this match. Blind to everyone else, multiple vulnerabilities on those characters. We are going to focus on Brawn because it's the priority. Now with this guy, we are going to isolate attack and apply slow to him. Look at that. Resisted. Okay, that's fine. And that's it. So easy mode, easy mode. If you know exactly how to beat this match, you're gonna beat it extremely easy. Now we're gonna do a second match just so you see that this is not RNG or anything, and this is live match. We are playing live. This is not pre-recorded or anything like that. I'm not cherry picking any moments and see, oh, this works on this way. No, it always works if you understand exactly how the match works, if you have the right ISO weight, and if you know which characters to attack to don't trigger the Red Hulk passive on the wrong occasion. Okay, so finally we got that loading screen off the way. Let's load the same team. Once again, I can show you this. I showed on my live streams multiple times 900k patch up when my entire team was 4 yellow only, and with level 80 4 yellow, and they were shredding to the gamma anyway. Of course it had a little bit more RNG, but once again, if you are using the right strategy, right position, and right ISO weight, it's not going to be a problem. So back-to-back matches, just to see if we have some different RNG or not. We have bad RNG on the previous one because Thor rebound chain to Red Hulk, and it's not always the case. So once again, we have offense down on a few characters, but not on Red Hulk. It's possible to apply offense down to Red Hulk, but once again, if your Star-Lord is too low like mine, it might not be consistent enough. Okay, She-Hulk attacked. Now we are going to attack the characters on the other side because we don't want Red Hulk to charge up too fast. And now we can turn rewind him. He's still going to get triggered, but that's fine. We're going to try to apply that slow. Because we turn rewinded, now we're going to be able to apply blind to him. That's it, blind on Red Hulk. What's the problem now? Okay, let's apply ability block to Brawn to stop him from doing funny stuff. She-Hulk has 3 charges right now, and we are gonna crush She-Hulk. Let's do the ultimate with Nova. Hopefully She-Hulk will not trigger before Red Hulk goes. Okay, we're able to remove the charges. Red Hulk now fails the ultimate, And that's pretty much it. It's game over already. It's literally game over already. So if you have the right ISO weight, if you have the right position of your characters, it's not gonna matter at all. Okay, we're gonna clear all that junk from our allies. So we're gonna clear the defense down and offense down. We're gonna remove that death proof from Red Hulk. I'm gonna focus on She-Hulk because I like to play safe. Now with the Korg, Striker ISO weight is going to double tap and apply slow to the enemies. Now we can use that vulnerability on Hulk to speed him up, since he has the trauma and we have the opportunity of dealing more damage to him. So you can see right there Thor doing massive amount of damage to him. And now it's Star-Lord. Should I apply trauma to Star-Lord on that guy, or should I apply on the other side? Like, bro, seriously. Okay, we're going to apply vulnerability to Brawn and to Abomination. They resisted the trauma, unfortunately. Let's remove that offense up from Abomination. Resisted as well. Once again, we are punching up 800k and their team is quite big. So now we have to finish up Hulk. We have to use that defense down before he heals up. I mean, this is all about being smart. Like, if you know what you're doing, you're definitely not going to have any problems with this matchup. So there goes the Brawn. Now we have Abomination versus 5. And all this time we have the Gamma Radiation. Is Gamma Radiation a problem? Nah, bro. We have enough healing to deal with this, and there we go. Okay, guys, so as you can see, the Knowhere team can easily punch up 800k versus Gamma. In Alliance Wars, it's going to be pretty much the same thing because you're going to get all the bonuses as well. And it's all about using the right ISO weight, using the right kill order, and using the right position of the characters. You always want to reduce the chance of your enemies to compromise your team. I don't know what's so big news about that. And if you keep your Star-Lord and your Cosmo in the corners, you are definitely greatly benefiting out of that. And between the ability block and the blind of Star-Lord, one is unblockable, the other isn't, so you want to prioritize the one that is not blockable, making sure that you can always apply the blind, even if the enemy has 100% block chance or anything like that. As you saw, we didn't have any problem with this match, and it's quite unfortunate that DuArktik is doing this. He accused me many times of doing drama. I'm not sure exactly of what drama means for him, but this type of videos, the type of videos where you are saying nonsense, where you're saying that, oh, they lied to us, oh, they screwed up the invoice, they made us say something that is actually not true, and then you present that, oh, one team is required for Apocalypse, but the other team is also required for a Legendary, and you knew this, and still you are acting like you didn't. All this nonsense, this is also drama. So yeah, if I do drama, you're also doing drama. But what we want is people to be well informed and not having to struggle with these matches, and especially after you're facing the wrong kind of information. But that's gonna be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Knowhere team is excellent. They beat pretty much anything in Alliance Wars if you have the right ISO weight, if you have the right position, and if you know how to play against the enemies that you are facing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you found the video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.